Here. I'm going to talk about a lifestyle change that I will never go back on. I stopped drinking a little over a year ago, and it has been one of the better decisions for my life. There are literally so many positives to it, but that doesn't come without the negatives. So you have to find out what's right for you, but highly encourage it. From my perspective, it's been such a positive impact on my life and being able to modulate my social experiences and really dig deep into some open things that I was hiding maybe from drinking. And oh, by the way, I never had an issue with drinking. I was like you would say any average person. I would drink maybe once or twice on the weekends with friends and socially. So I never really drank during the week. So it was never an issue. It was just there were some negative things. Let's talk about the pros. There are 4 pros. One is time. You gain a lot of time back because your body is not recovering from a state of inflammation. You gain more time. Like this morning, it's Saturday morning, I was up at 7:30. I didn't drink last night because I don't drink. And I was up at 7:30 and able to get my morning going, and I feel like my Saturday mornings are so productive now, whereas like before you drink and you kind of sleep until 10 and then you get started and you're feeling like kind of mediocre. So like I'd say your energy, but I also am going to bed earlier too, so I went to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock last night, so there's that too. So one is, I think, like time, quality, energy, time. The second is energy. I would say my energy levels are a little bit more consistent, even though I'm like on hormones and that like just fucking makes me go crazy, up and down, up and down. My energy levels definitely are more consistent when I'm not drinking. And then I would say the third one is just alignment with, you know, a healthy lifestyle and a healthy body. You know, it doesn't putting your body through that and having a misalignment, you know, whether it's the overall consumption that you're doing or just the inflammation that it's causing. Again, fact check that for me. But I feel body positive since I've stopped drinking. And then I'd say the last one, which I think is something that's really cool and maybe not something that jumps up, but is like conversations are more detailed and more depth, and I really appreciate that. Like I really appreciate getting to know somebody individually and building on the conversation. And when I drank, it was maybe I would have the same conversation 2 or 3 times, and now it's to the point where it's like, okay, well, we talked about that last time, let's move on to kind of the next thing. So there's like an evolution in your relationships, which is really amazing. So those are the pros. All right, so next one is the cons, because nothing in life is all good, right, or all bad. So the cons, there is almost no escape. You can't run from your week that was, it was sticky and gross and not the best week. You can't run from your week. You just can't, and you have to think and sit in that feeling of, I feel uncomfortable with my week, and come up with better ways to process that. There are lots of mindful meditative things that can offer the same thing. I'm not the best at it. I'm not the best at finding the time, but I find that like exercise and listening to my podcast has been really a nice way for me to get that kind of mental reset. All right, the second one is letting loose, and you're not able to let loose as easy because there's no excuse for you to let loose. You have to give yourself permission, and that's a really hard thing to do, to say, I'm going to give my permission to just, you know, act crazy or act loose, and that's a really hard thing, whereas like alcohol puts it on the object, and that object allows you to let loose. And then I would say the last one is just the general social cost. Nobody does it intentionally. I think it happens intentionally. You are maybe not invited to events that have drink because you are deemed as a non-drinker and you are not fun, but that is not true. So we are fun and we like to have fun, but there is definitely that indirect and so if you're considering stopping drinking, again, up to you, your taste, your feel, your life. So that was it. Yeah, I talked a little bit about the pros and a little bit about the cons, and just wanted to share my experience. I won't be going back to drinking. It's not part of my life moving forward. It's really helped me uncover and unpack things that maybe anxiety, social anxiety that I was feeling, or my ability or my permission to feel free as I am. So I won't be going back to drinking. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. But I definitely have had a really positive experience, and just wanted to share that with our community. So that's all. Maddie out.